So, see who they can't touch anymore. Welcome back, you gorgeous, untouchable abnormality. You felt it, didn't you? The change in the air, the way their assaults miss, their curses lose momentum, and every trap they build all work against them. You did not recite protective charms or implore the gods for assistance. You struck something unseen, and it wrapped around you like armor made of stillness and stars. And now they're afraid because they've used every trick, deception, and coordinated attack intended to kill you. And you stand there, breathing, smiling, and radiating an unfathomable serenity. They believed they'd cornered you. They gathered their troops, talked in their secret conversations, distorted your words, and weaponized your generosity. They portrayed you as the villain in a courtroom of illusions, transforming your quiet into guilt and your compassion into weakness. Even people you once trusted backed down under the weight of falsehoods. They waited for you to fall, cry for mercy, and prove their story correct. But you didn't. You did not break, defend, or even flinch. And that is when the panic started. Their energy began to collapse in on itself. Their ideas unraveled like cheap thread for the persons they dispatched to examine. You returned, transformed, scared, and uncertain of what they'd seen. The doors they sought to shut in your face expanded wider, multiplying the chances. They attempted to poison the love and support, but it got stronger and deeper, unstoppable. And that's when the knowledge dawned. It was not luck. It was the law. A higher law. Have you been under surveillance? True, but not by them. They believed they were the judges and executioners, but they were only background noise. While they planned, something far bigger was watching, witnessing their duplicity, brutality, and false successes. And the heavenly wisdom made a choice. It issued an edict, not a human one written in ink, but an energetic one inscribed in light, directing this soul to pay the price. They are now discovering what it entails. Every emotional punch, energy curse, and spiritual assault is met with accuracy. They dig trenches and fall into them. They throw stones and get smacked in the face with the same impact every time they attempt to harm you. They end up destroying part of themselves. That is the result of attacking someone selected and protected by an invisible command. You did not win by vengeance or resistance. You triumphed because the universe said enough was enough. They spoke a falsehood about you, and their own secrets came to light. They attempted to isolate you, but they ended up being abandoned, left to wallow in the loneliness they wanted upon you. This is not a gradual patient karma developing over time. This is quick surgical justice, accurate and unmistakable. The craziest portion, you aren't the one doing it. You are not sitting in the dark, casting magic or planning retribution. You're just living, healing, rising. Move on with your head held high and your conscience clear. That's what's making them furious. Because they cannot pinpoint the source of your protection. They cannot locate the fracture in your foundation. They don't understand why their assaults fail. It's because what protects you is not something you can put on. It demonstrates something they'll never understand. Appearing to be flawless does not provide true safety. It is not gained via rituals, appearances, or immaculate performance. True protection comes from being genuine, from stating the truth, even if it costs you everything. From choosing kindness, even when it's used against you. From remaining faithful, even when treachery is around you. You did not get heavenly protection by following a script. You earned it by refusing to be the monster they intended to create. They intended you to be bitter, but instead you matured. They wanted you to be hostile, but you loved. They wanted you to be spiteful, but you've discovered serenity. Something higher took note, far beyond their grasp. Something heavenly, invisible, and old. It saw your unwillingness to corrupt, your reluctance to crumble, and your refusal to let darkness triumph. And it determined that this one would walk through fire without being burned. This one will be safe in all realms. You were untouchable after that, not because you are perfect, but because you are safe. They are now terrified because the trend is too obvious to ignore. Everyone who attacked you too harshly. Where are they currently? Broken, exposed, unraveling from the weight of their own goals. Every untruth they peddled has backfired severely. The truth is louder than their deceit. Every door they attempted to slam in your face resulted in a better one. Opening immediately after each connection they attempted to poison became stronger, deeper, and more aligned. Because true recognition is genuine, and your energy cannot be faked. They can no longer justify seeing their own life crumble while yours rises. The patterns are too obvious. So protection is too strong. And now they're terrified because they understand this isn't a coincidence. This is a consequence. When individuals assault someone under divine protection, it is never mild or symbolic. It is terrible, because when you're shielded by greater forces, every hit directed at you is a strike against what keeps you safe. And that is a losing war. They attempted to tarnish your name, and their own reputation shattered. They attempted to obstruct your blessings, and their routes were cut off. They attempted to shatter your spirit, and their hearts are crushed. They attempted to isolate you, and now they are surrounded by others who are just as deceptive as they were. They attempted to make you suffer, and now they're weeping themselves to sleep, plagued by the very energy they generated. And the irony, you never wished them harm. You never cheered their collapse. You did not curse or condemn. You simply continued going, mending, and building. That quiet, that reluctance to participate, fueled the rebound because nothing speaks louder in the cosmos than a pure spirit remaining mute while protected by something much bigger than revenge. Here's what they've learned the hard way. Energy never lies, and aim cannot conceal. The cosmos is not a mindless mechanism that bestows gifts or punishes at random. It is clever. It is aware. It is watching. And it understands who is moving from love and who is acting from hatred. It understands who is creating and who is destroying, who is genuine, and who is acting for the audience. So it recognizes a pure-hearted spirit, not flawless, but authentic, being targeted by those who are envious, insecure, and malicious. It intervenes not because you pleaded or performed a ritual, but because preserving you safeguards the ideals you represent. Truth, integrity, a genuine city, and perseverance. The cosmos protects those principles because if souls like you, souls who have been through hell yet still choose the light, are killed by darkness, everything falls. So you became an example, living evidence that darkness does not always triumph. Attacks do not always land, and heavenly protection is real. And now they're stuck watching the guy they attempted to break grow invincible. They see you prospering while they said you would fail. When they attempted to quiet you, you spoke with confidence and radiated tranquility while they drowned in pandemonium. Everything they say is against you. Boomerangs. Everything they do backfires. Every malicious idea leads to devastation in their own life. They established their own jail. And you were a live reminder of what they had lost. Not because you are gloating, but because your essay provides incontrovertible proof that their strategies failed. They flung everything at you, and you're still standing, gleaming, and protected. And now they've come to a disturbing discovery. You were never fortunate. You were protected. There is a distinction, and they can feel it now. They were so focused on you that they neglected to monitor themselves, obsessed with your every move. They didn't see their own relationships dissolving, mental health deteriorating, and possibilities sliding away. They were chatting, following, and studying you. Consequences were gradually accumulating around them. They became cautionary tales, proving that hatred harms the hater rather than the subject. Meanwhile, you continued to expand, shine, and evolve. Not because you won, but because you refused to play their little game. You were never a competitor. You were never seeking their approval. You've always ran your own race at a greater frequency, but their envy persuaded them you were a danger. Their anxiety made them believe that your success was their loss. So they declared war on someone who was never an enemy, someone who would have rooted for them, helped and partnered with them. And now those bridges are gone, destroyed by their own actions. You stand on your side of the river, peaceful, grounded, and safe, while they stand alone and burdened by their hatred. Because this is the cost of envy. That is the penalty of fighting the protected. You don't just lose the battle. You lose yourself in the process. And now, the same power that protected you is monitoring them, measuring, weighing, and exposing the truth about their hearts. Protection always works both ways. If you have been shielded from them, It implies they have been prevented from contacting you. Every curse is diverted. Every hit is absorbed. Every nefarious scheme has been neutralized. And the energy behind it. It is not neutral. It does not merely protect. It answers quickly, firmly, and without apologies. Not with your hands, not with your words, but via consequences, the laws of energy, and the simple and unbreakable reality that what you give out always comes back to you multiplied. They unleashed so much evil, deception, and purposeful brutality on the planet. And now it's coming back with precision, not as punishment from you, but as justice from reality itself. They're starting to realize they're not battling you anymore. They're fighting forces beyond their knowledge, and they're losing badly. The most startling aspect of all this is your quiet. While they rage, rationalize, and distort narratives for anybody who will listen, you remain silent, posting, smiling, and living your peaceful, quiet life, which says more than any defense ever could, because silence from someone who might kill their foes with truth, but chooses peace instead. That is power. That is restraint. That is heavenly protection masquerading as calmness. They desire your response, even if it means giving them fuel. Anger indicates that they have gotten to you. Defensiveness would suggest guilt, but you offer them nothing but calm power. And this is what drives them nuts. They can't fight. What isn't engaging? They cannot manage peace. They can't win against someone who has already left the arena completely. Your silence is evidence of protection. Only those who feel really protected can afford to remain so tranquil. Only someone supported by something larger can walk away from conflicts that they might easily win. You don't need to defend yourself. Your life is your defense. You don't need to explain yourself. Your accomplishments speak louder than theirs. You don't need to fight. Whatever shields you are currently carrying, your sole responsibility is to remain clear, focused, and aligned. And this is precisely what you're doing. While others sink into turmoil, you are building in serenity while they concentrate about you. You have already forgotten their existence, and forgetting that real separation is the ultimate nail in the coffin of their power. Because they can't touch what they can't reach, and they'll never reach someone who uses a frequency they're unfamiliar with. So they strive harder, spreading greater falsehoods, enlisting more accomplices, and devising more intricate traps. And every time they fail publicly, brutally, inevitably, since they are battling unseen protection with visible weapons, they curse someone who has already been blessed. They're attempting to ruin what is divinely guarded. The harder they press, the more they disintegrate. Their passion has consumed them. Their hate depletes them. Their envy taints everything nice in their life. Meanwhile, you soar higher, prospering, radiant, and unharmed. Not because you are flawless, but because you made a different choice. You chose healing over vengeance, peace rather than conflict, growth rather than resentment. And their decisions triggered a protection they'll never comprehend. Because heavenly protection does not apply to the faultless. It belongs to the genuine, those who stay nice. When being harsh would have been easy, those who remain human. When hatred seeks to harden them. And the decision to be authentic is what made you untouchable. Let's speak about the energy shift that changed everything about you and the world around you. There was a certain moment, a subtle, undetectable, yet life-changing event, when everything started to fall into place in your favor. You may not recollect the precise moment it occurred. It was neither a spectacular discovery or a thunderclap. It was calm and almost mystical. It was the moment you realized that explaining yourself to those who were determined to misunderstand you was a waste of spiritual energy. The minute you stopped defending your truth to others who were more comfortable living within their falsehoods, you stopped attempting to cure individuals who were not just damaged, but also involved in being broken. That moment of capitulation was not a breakdown. It was an ascent. It was when your soul declared, "Enough of proving, chasing closure, and begging to be seen." And with that choice, something significant occurred in the unseen. Your energy field has altered. It felt as if a master key was turned within you, permanently sealing some doors and unlocking other ones in alignment with your higher self. You went from being accessible to being protected, from available to discerning, and from open to divinely sheltered. And they sensed it the moment the frequency shifted. the ones who formerly benefited from your brightness. They noticed at first that the warmth had turned to neutrality. The softness became into sovereignty. They could no longer reach your emotions in the same manner they could before. They could no longer tug your strings, press your buttons, or use your sympathy against you. It baffled them at first. They didn't understand why the same approaches had suddenly stopped working. They mistaken your tranquility for pride as the electric door closed. Your distance from arrogance. Your silence indicates disinterest. What really occurred was a transfer of power. You regained the energy they had siphoned from you, which worried them since they were no longer battling you. They were battling absence. They were resisting quiet. They were battling a version of you that no longer exists. The energy they had drained was no longer accessible. You shifted from being a target to a mystery, and mysteries cannot be managed. This new energy you exude isn't frigid. It is crystalline. It is not harsh. It's complete. You have a clear understanding of who you are, how much you are worth, and who deserves to be around you. Clarity is inherently protective. It's a powerful barrier that envy cannot penetrate, deception cannot imitate, and manipulation cannot decipher. You no longer need to protect yourself since your energy is already doing so. It filters and organizes reality on your behalf. It repels the untrue, enhances the real, and makes room for peace to flourish. The folks who formerly had front-row tickets to your life are now confined outside the gates, banging, rehashing old memories, and attempting to figure out what happened. They send texts. They gossip. They tell tales in the hopes of regaining access to the version of you who put up with their disarray. However, that version of you no longer exists. Evolution, rather than retribution, has burnt the bridge. You have grown immune to deception, emotional robbery, and energy invasion. And the cosmos has made certain of it. That's the thing with genuine protection. It is not motivated by grudges. It's fueled by the truth. This cosmos is governed by a natural law, which states that those who uphold their peace will be safeguarded by it. As a result, anybody with bad intent will now face resistance while attempting to contact you. It's as if an invisible force barrier identifies their energy signature before they even consider your name. Their remarks lose impact. Their plans crumble in the middle of creation. Their hate can no longer find a frequency that matches yours. It rebounds back, intensified, mercifully teaching them the lesson they refuse to learn. They don't comprehend how or why this is occurring. They just know that any effort to penetrate your space fails terribly. Every curse they utter falls back into their own lives. Every insult resonates in their own energy field. Every strategy they attempt backfires cruelly and publicly. They are perplexed because they have never experienced a kind of peace that fights back without raising a finger. But this is what heavenly protection looks like. It does not roar. It glows. While others unravel, you flourish. You have reached a frequency of easy growth. Your quiet has turned into a shield. Your tranquility has become your strength. You've understood that genuine confidence is not loud. It's calm. It's trekking through the same storms that once broke you. And not even a flinch this time. It's understanding that your own vibration is performing the job. Your words never could. You are no longer working in defense. You're working in design. You've grown more mindful about your energy, limits, and purpose. You're no longer chasing. You are attractive. You're no longer explaining. You embody. You're no longer convincing. You merely exist. And your very existence is evidence enough. And those who formerly misjudged you are now disturbed by their lack of access to your presence. They understand that no amount of copying, rumor, or manipulation can capture your soul. They miss the energy they drained, but never appreciate it. The reality is, they didn't just lose access to you. They lost access to the heavenly favor that comes from being near you. And now, as they attempt harder to reach you, the cosmos is blocking them more harder. Every endeavor fails before it even starts. Every attempt is met with opposition because the door is spiritually locked. It is not your responsibility. It is divine order. You've been transported to a region where mild vibrations cannot affect you. You've progressed from emotional survival to energy mastery. That is the actual energy change, the one they will never comprehend. You are not above them. You are beyond their grasp. You did not vanish. You climbed. And no amount of obsession, jealousy, or hatred can cross that barrier because you've become what they dreaded the most: untouchable, aligned, and protected by forces they can't define and will never understand. They can't change the storyline anymore, no matter how hard they try. The truth has developed into its own living creature, an irresistible force that pervades every conversation, whisper, and lie said in your absence. It does not need your defense or permission. The truth has memory, accuracy, and divine timing. It rises precisely when and how it should, demolishing myths with silent power. It glides unseen, weaving across energy fields, dissolving illusions, revealing deceit, and restoring equilibrium. You're not the one speaking anymore. It's the truth itself, standing in rooms you've never been to, refuting tales you've never heard, and defending your reputation in ways no human approach could. And this protection is all around you. It's not passive. It is aware. It is clever. It is selective. It's the kind of heavenly technology that scans intents like frequencies, reading energy before any words are uttered. It understands who conveys love and who bears poison. It detects jealousy disguised as friendliness, as well as deception disguised as charm. It recognizes exploitation masquerading as mentoring and attention disguised as caring. And it works immediately. When someone with concealed motivations attempts to approach, the defense system replies. It might be due to a delay, a locked door, a sudden change of plans, or an incomprehensible intuitive nudge. But the message is always clear: access forbidden. It is a live guardian force, ancient, watchful, and dedicated only to the truth. It exposes those who arrive in a false light while elevating those who come in true harmony. It travels softly but strongly. It deletes, redirects, and replaces. You don't have to engage in wars, seek justice, or establish innocence. Your sole job is to maintain your genuineness, to maintain alignment. Stay grounded and authentic. The protection does the rest. That's what scares them. That is what confuses them. They are accustomed to manipulating, controlling, and distorting reality. They've spent their life perfecting psychological tricks, twisting realities, and creating illusions that cause others to question themselves. However, with you, their tricks fall flat. You've become resistant to manipulation since your frequency has surpassed falsehood. Your energy field no longer tolerates disorder. You have become the exception, the anomaly, the one they can't anticipate or penetrate. They attempted to use your empathy against you, but your discernment developed quicker. They attempted to guilt-trip you, but your peace became louder. They attempted to make you doubt yourself, but your self-awareness was their undoing. They can't reach you anymore. They are yelling into a vacuum where there might formerly reverberated. You have vibrationally shifted realms, spiritually and energetically. They are still battling on a level that you no longer exist on. They can't discover the version of you that they previously altered since it no longer exists. You are functioning from a higher frequency system that is guided by divine law rather than human interference. And now they're being forced to accept something they said couldn't happen. You are protected. You are selected, marked and sealed by heavenly power. You have a distinctive energy that signals to any evil force, approach at your own peril. They attempted to write your finale, but never grasped the pen. They believed they were the storytellers of your collapse. But you were always the author. They were background noise in your symphony side characters and evolution story elements, which unwittingly triggered your ascension. While they were chatting, you were developing and they were planning. You were healing while they placed traps. You were mastering patience, discipline, and vision. And now the tables have turned. And not via vengeance, but by resonance. The safety that surrounds you is neither transient nor emotional. It is structural. It's built into your DNA. It is a spiritual barrier programmed into your vibration. A heavenly encryption that scrambles any energy that is not in harmony with truth. It cannot be hacked. It cannot be circumvented. It cannot be disabled because someone suddenly requests forgiveness. This is generational security that protects not just you, but everything you are linked to. Your aspirations, your labor, your tranquility, your heritage. That is what they do not grasp. You are no longer just a person. You have become a covenant. You're a living testament to divine justice and human experience. Every time they attempt to tamper with your energy, they break a fundamental rule. And spiritual law always gets its due. That is why they are now receding slowly and carefully, professing to have gone on, to be at peace, and to have let go. But there is horror underneath that facade. They've seen enough to realize that what surrounds you isn't a coincidence. It is power. It's a consequence. It provides protection. They are unable to overrule. They are tormented by your silence. Because silence from someone who has the ability to destroy them with the truth, but chooses not to, is the most powerful kind of judgment. You don't answer because you don't need to. The universe does it for you. The heavenly intellect that protects your path is also responsible for the results. They are not terrified of you. They're terrified of what's behind you. They've recognized that battling you entails fighting spiritual law itself. And it's a lost struggle every time. So they're now standing at a distance, observing. They scan over your development, radiance, and evolution, pretending they don't notice, but secretly intrigued with understanding how you keep growing, thriving, and smiling despite all they've thrown at you. They don't understand that each assault they launch just sharpens your alignment. Every curse, they said, reinforced your barrier. Every treachery cleaned your path. You became unstoppable, not because you fought harder, but because you gave deeper to something much bigger than you. And the irony? You don't even wish them harm. You're not bitter. You've progressed beyond vengeance to appreciation for the lesson, the development, and the elevation that came disguised as suffering. That is the ultimate kind of power. Peace. You've shown that when you stay pure in a corrupt environment, the cosmos bends to protect you. So now you walk differently. There is weight in your steps. Not heaviness, but divine gravity. You talk less, but when you do, your words have more frequency. You do not pursue. You are attractive. You do not respond. You are radiant. You do not prove. You embody. You do not fight. You agree. Now, your energy speaks for itself, and your work wins. You have far beyond their grasp. They no longer have access to your mind, emotions, spirituality, or energy. The portal has closed, sealed by a decree that no mortal can reverse. The order has been written, the shield is activated, and the protection is total. And as they spend their lives trying to figure out how you keep escaping storms intended to drown you, you'll be too preoccupied with creating empires of light, since this isn't the end of your narrative. It is the beginning of your reign. You are no longer only protected. You've been appointed. You are no longer only picked. You're activated. You have entered into heavenly authority, and there is no going back. You're living evidence that purity equals power. That truth is armor. And no matter how hard it is fought, the light always prevails. So wear your protection like it's a crown. Walk with the authority of someone who understands that their spirit cannot be affected. Let them ponder. Let them whisper. Let them spiral. Their perplexity is the result. Their remorse is their lesson. You do not owe them closure. You owe yourselves growth. Keep walking. Keep glowing. Keep building. Because this is your period. Untouchable, unbreakable, and unstoppable, and divinely protected by powers. They will attempt for the rest of their lives to comprehend, but they will never be able to. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the development of my faith. Please let me believe you even when there is no tangible proof. Let me believe in your eternal presence, knowing that you will never hurt me. I realize that your intentions for me are ones of success rather than harm, in order to provide me with a bright future. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing my voice. I give this prayer to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provisions. I am thankful for your presence in my life and the richness you provide. If this video spoke to you, please subscribe to the channel and share it with others who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your trip and how you're getting ready for your own victorious homecoming. If you would like to help us out, please consider donating via Buy Me a Coffee. This allows us to consistently improve our content in order to provide you with the best possible experience. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No present is too tiny. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity spreads God's message and gives people hope. Do not stop here. Watch our next video for amazing insights into the indicators that indicate you are the chosen one. We've loved sharing this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for sticking with us until the finish. Keep shining brightly and face your fate with confidence. See you next time. Enlightened knowledge bestows blessings to all lovely individuals.